Right then, today something a bit different. Just came in the post, well, earlier today. Track setters. I've never used track setters before, so we have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and a straight. Now, a bit late in some ways, in that I've laid quite a bit of my track, but not all of it. So this is laid without the track setter. And I'm intending to give a bash to these things and see if they get me more consistent curves. You remember the whole how not to make up a layout? Well, I'll show you what I was using before to try to get some kind of consistency to my curve, shall I? You may have spotted it before now in the background of some of the videos, but here it comes. There we go. So that was, I basically used that as a guide, and I bent the track over that, and as you can see, it gets, let's see, it gets close to the sort of radius I'm looking for, in fact, so it helps to get the track into roughly the right shape. I'm sure the track setters will do a much, oh, sorry for the noise, a much better job, but I'll give you just an idea of what I've achieved at present. So if you get right down to it, it always helps you to see the track. So it doesn't seem to me, obviously a joint there, so you can see that it's not perfect, but it's not a mile off by any means. And that sweeps it around. So that's what we've got so far. I'm going to give a bash to these tracks. I got a bargain, I must be honest. I do like my bargains. TT is not the cheapest scale to model in, we know that, but it's not the most expensive either, because there are things out there. So I got all these track setters, plus 2 Pico Unifrog points. Now, the Pico Unifrogs, they have had the springs removed, unfortunately. Some must be used for servo motors. I don't use servos, so I'm a bit more stuck with that. But nonetheless, 2 Pico points, plus a whole bunch of track. And I do mean a whole bunch of track. So let's have a look. So there's the points there. Beyond the springs being shifted, they're in good condition. 2 sets of points, and this is all offcuts. Oh yes, I forgot. I've got these as well with the track setters. So this is all Pico Streamline Flexi Track. So there's a whole heap of it there. Even a few of the tails left on for power pickup if I need to use that. So yeah. So all of that was the grand, including the track setters and the points, was a grand total of £21, I think it was. Really can't argue with that. So what I don't use, I'll just put back up on eBay, and hopefully it'll find a good home that way. If anybody was looking for bits and bobs by the end of this, there'll likely be some leftovers, so I'll let you know. But yeah, so that's my plan, is to see basically how that works. Try to get an idea of the radius I need. Try and bring the flexi track into that radius, and that's going to be for up here. There's a double track to go around there eventually, but you know, we won't get carried away with ourselves. We'll start off gently. All right, that's the plan. Let's find out how we get on. So here's the part done with the track setters gluing down. Yep, definitely worth having. Happy with that. Right, a little bit of a video on the cassette. So you can see I've 3D printed some brackets here to overhang to give me support for the upper level that goes over it. But the cassette is this white old shelf or something or other, on which are the tracks mounted, line up at this end, and it's reversible, so it can flip around as well either way. And the idea is that to flip the polarity of the power feed, we have them joined underneath to these brass strips. These are actually just sort of old 00 power clips that I had lying around. So they're stripped out, use that, and they make contact with this plate here, is the idea. And then that delivers the power the other side. That's a theory. Hasn't yet been tested, but hopefully soon will be once the glue dries. Just keep you up to date. So yeah, working the upper level. Gonna come round here. There's a piece to go on here. In fact, just give you that's the rough cut of it just now. And then there's a bridge at this section over the goods yard, and then the double track continues right round again to a station over there. Lots to be done. Okay, moment of truth. I'll try first ever loop. There she is. She's underway at least, that's a good start. It's an 08, so they all can be fast, so I'm getting a bit more speed than I usually would. We'll be here all day. Let's hope we've got the points set properly. I can get over it, no problem. Over the next one, no problem. None of these are live frogs at this point. There's also a very rickety bridge at the moment, where there's no support at all, just purely track. That's why it's the 08, because it's so light. And I can get across there without causing chaos. But there we are, nearly a full lap. Excellent. Happy at that. Brilliant. And there we are. Let's try it at more prototypical speed. There she is running. So this is the upper level. It'll be a twin track main line. That's going over where there will be a bridge. I promise you it won't just allow it to float. Running in silence just now, I really want to keep an ear out for anything that might be problematic, anything that's going to cause trouble. The track is literally just a wee quick rub over with microfiber cloth, nothing more than that. You can also hear the wind outside blowing through the vent. I mentioned it's a windy place I live in. Brilliant. So that's it, gone just about halfway. It's taken a minute to go halfway around. I think it's going to be quite good fun when it's actually up and running. Comes the points, straight over them, no problem. Well, I'm hoping so. Ooh, there's a bit of iffiness there, something didn't look right there. I will be investigating that. Something did not look right back there. Let's see the second set of points. That's much smoother. And the final set of points coming up. No problems at all. Brilliant. So that is success. And we are running, just to show you, we are running at speed 38. Okay. So reference point. Thanks for watching. I'm going to drop it down again, but I won't make you watch it any slower than that. By the way, just a quick video. The tines that are left over from this laser cut kit are just exactly spot on to break and use as spare sleepers to fill in the gaps. So yeah, very easy done. Take it, break it, stick it in place. Couldn't be simpler. Another slight tip I've discovered: the fish plates, never the easiest thing to get on. I'm finding it easier to put them on with the track upside down. I think the double base to the track messes with my eyes a wee bit when I'm doing it the right way up. If I do turn it upside down, you can see the base, you can see exactly what you're trying to aim for. And to me anyway, it seems to work better. So, stuff I've been working on here, if you're interested in stuff, have a look at the resource hub. There'll be a link in the description. track setters, that kind of thing, where to buy your track, where to get your point motors, all that's lots of stuff available on the Resource Hub, so please do a look out there. And laser cut kits and stuff, all that's sitting there to be used. What's next? Well, finish the inner loop. There's a next set of points to go on as well over what will be by the station. Finish the inner loop and then testing the track properly. Also need a reverse loop module to fit on my reverse loop on the lower level. That will hopefully finish the track, and then it's just the minor details, like everything else. The bridge, of course, a big thing to get done as well. I'm not having much success in my head figuring that out yet, but I'm sure we'll get there. So thanks very much for watching. Hopefully it's been useful and interesting, and you can see from the picture below, that's as far as we've gone so far. Well, by the time of this going out, it'll be further on, but that's for another video. All right, thanks.